where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. And we're going to be talking about referrals, specifically international cross-border referrals, and how to work with interpreters and how to overcome cultural differences so that you can get more business from international clients and get more referrals from real estate brokers all over the world. So it's going to be a fun episode today. We've got the junior grandmaster himself is in the co-pilot seat, coming fresh off of a very emotional, apparently, Facebook Live with Hank Aving, who was our guest on the show last Friday. Greg, are you fully recovered and emotionally with us today?
I don't know, Matt. I had to go get a bag of tissues and dab my eyes here. Hank and I just went deep on some shit, man. I mean, he just got notified that one of his family friends' child committed suicide last night. So Hank and I were going to talk about database, and we went off on a hard left turn, and we came up with a really, really good challenge and what we're challenging people to do. And I'm going to ask everybody that watches this show, if you're going to take the challenge, type into the box that you're going to accept this challenge, and I want you to forward this episode to 5 people that will take this challenge with you as well. We want to see how this is going to spread like wildfire with goodness around the world as fast as possible. What the challenge is this. If you never know what someone's going through. You never know if they're having the worst day of their life or if they're thinking of committing suicide or something, horrible, maybe a mass shooting or whatever diabolical thing is going through their mind. Treat them with love and respect and to be kind to them. When someone yells at you, don't yell back, don't get emotional. If you see someone on the side of the road, or if you just get that gut feeling that you need to help them and reach out to them and do something for them, this is the challenge. I want you to take, and next time you go to the bank, and you withdraw money, I want you to take out an additional $100 bill or an additional $20 bill or $10, whatever you can afford. And I want you to give that away at some point within the next couple of days or day. Now, Hank and I both expressed, he did it to a lady at the gas station. He gave this, he just could tell this lady was having a bad day. So he paid for her stuff and just dropped her another 20 and just walked out the front door. He said, this is just a gift from me to you. I know I can tell you're having a bad day. He drove past her. She was bawling. And I told a story about how I was a complete douchebag. And I was driving down the road in my Mercedes, feeling all hot and toddy, like, I'm so cool. And I see this guy sitting on the side of the corner on the street. He had his worldly possessions around him. And I knew that I was on a call, and I knew that I should have gone out and given him money, but I fucking didn't. And it has been eating me up ever since, and I will never let that happen again. So my challenge to you is to take the challenge. Chris Dickerson is in, dude. I love that dude. So I want you guys to think about this. Next time you see someone that you know that you're going to need some help, just give them some help. So that's my challenge.
All right. I like it. Solid.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, it's a good thing you don't live near me, Greg, because then when I take money out of the ATM and turn around and give it to somebody, it's not going to be you standing behind me.
Matt, I'm having a bad day.
Just holding out your hand saying, Matt, what's up? Where's the challenge?
Yeah. Give to the needy, player.
That's right. Give to the needy, player. Yeah. All right. Anyway. All right, so I would encourage people to take that challenge. That is a really, really, really good idea. So let's welcome in, on that note, welcome in our special guest, and let's deliver some value and answer some questions. What do you say? So Erin Koops, Erin from leading real estate companies of the world. How's it going today?
I'm doing well. It's great to be here with you guys. Thank you.
I'm excited to have you. So we're going to talk all about like international referrals and cross-border and cultural differences and all kinds of cool stuff. But let's start with the basics, because there's a really good question that popped up here just the other day about this. So Angela DeAndrea on the lead gen scripts and objections page asked, looking for a referral script to use, both buy and sell, for out-of-state family member who's moving to another state. So the deal doesn't really involve her at all, other than her facilitating and helping introduce them to great agents in the market they live in and the market they're going to. So what would you suggest for? Let's start with the phrasing for how you even present that to the family member, and how do you kind of explain what you're going to do for them?
Yeah, I mean, kudos, Angela, that she's even aware that she's got a family member moving. I think that means she's in touch with her sphere, friends and family. So my recommendation is always to present your capabilities to your family members. And that can be a little awkward, right? You don't want them to think that you're reaching into their pocket. But the key here is you want to help that family member make sure they find the best quality agent who's really going to take care of them, right? You don't want them to just pick up the phone or Google it, because that's not going to be the right fit. So I think, and I can say this because my mother's a real estate agent, so she was doing this to me even before I got into real estate. Pitch to your family member. I found out you're moving. I think it's great. I have someone I trust in that area. I would love to connect you with them, make an introduction. I'd even be happy to interview your agent for you if that would make you feel more comfortable. I just want to make sure you don't fall into the wrong hands. And then there's always that tricky question of, do you let them know that you're getting a referral fee if indeed you are placing it as a referral and earning a fee on it? I've seen a lot of family members gift that back to their family member in the end, and it becomes a really nice housewarming gift. So that would be my recommended way to go with that language.
I'm not following that.
You're not following that. You're not gifting it. You're not gifting it back.
No. After that performance,
you send him a nice bottle of wine.
No.
he'll withdraw an extra $20 out of the ATM for him. Here you go.
Here you go, playa.
All right, so Greg,
you can
what
buy
say
him
you
a
on
very
that?
nice housewarming gift. Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, you think I was kidding? I'm really not following that. That was epic.
You're not following. You're not going to contribute anything on top of that. All right. Well, that's fine. Let's talk about making contact with the agents in both of those markets. So, Erin, what would you suggest? Let's start with the agent that they were in the market where they live. So they need a listing agent. So how do you go about? Let's say you don't have an existing relationship and you're reaching out to someone cold.
Yeah. I'm on here because I'm part of a network, and so we've got relationships by way of that network. I'm going to assume that every agent listening to this has a network of some sort. And so my recommendation is, if you promise that you're going to take care of your family member, you got to deliver. So if you work your networks to find basically a referral to an agent in that area, whether you have certifications and can find them by way of that certification directory, whether you're part of a local association and have met someone. My only caution is, just because you've met someone and you've really gotten along with them at an association event doesn't mean they're going to take great care of your family member. So do your homework and research them online. Figure out how many listings they've had in the last year. Figure out if they close things. Figure out how they take care of their client. And don't be afraid to interview them. I don't think that that's a professional discourtesy in any way. I think that they would want the same if they're a true professional.
And that is the rub. You got to find the true professionals.
Yeah.
But it is a very valid point that just because you gel with someone on a personal level doesn't mean they're going to take great care of that family member. And even if they are qualified in the sense that they could do the job, doesn't mean that they're going to mesh with your family member. So there's a couple of layers there of things to think about when you're finding somebody to refer them to. So let's get into the scripting part. Greg, would you like to now jump in and follow that a little bit, since she didn't quite steal your thunder on the scripting part?
I feel like I'm just getting beat up here. I'm like, damn it again. I'm speechless, Erin. This does not happen often. So this is unbelievable. So phrase the question again. Sorry, I was answering some questions on Facebook Live.
So the question would be, once you determine who you're going to go after or who you want to interview, what's the call go like when you are trying to make an introduction and kind of make inroads with an agent in that family member's market that you would like to introduce them to so that they can potentially list and sell that home?
Something that I would probably do is, if I was not an agent, obviously, I would say, hey, Matt, I have my sister Erin. She's going to be moving into Tupelo, Mississippi, where you're an agent, and I've taken a look at a couple of your reviews. I've talked to a couple of different boards or Facebook groups, and you've been recommended a few different times. Love to get to know you a little bit more and kind of understand how you work, how you communicate, what your team looks like, how you guys operate, so that I can feel comfortable referring my sister Erin. And then get the conversation. Don't make it all love it, rainbows and sherbet. I mean, this isn't playtime. This is vetting them. You're going to try to not like them, because once they prove their worth to you, then you can honestly go and say, hey, Matt, I appreciate your time. I go back to Erin. I say, Erin, hey, I found this really cool dude, Matt. He's a top agent. I've looked at his reviews. I've interviewed him. I feel personally comfortable. And as you know, I'm a cynic. And so, like Matt is usually, but I'm a cynic in this case. But I feel comfortable moving forward. Here's his number. He knows you're going to be calling him. So Good. That's what I would probably do. I'd treat them like family, and I would try to not like them personally. Not personally, but professionally.
I like that a lot. Yeah, just to go in, that's a different mindset to go into it with.
It is. I mean, Erin, you can attest to this as a girl. I mean, every time you meet a new guy, you immediately try to not like him. Like, how can I disqualify this idiot? And
you're right. You're right. I'm just checking off.
That was a big problem where So usually that's in the first 15 seconds.
Yeah, you're just like, douchebag. Okay, douchebag. Okay, the goods outweigh the bads. Okay, I'll go on a date. Same thing with interviewing a real estate agent. Kind of try to disqualify him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna piggyback on that, not on the dating scene, but on the agent scene, which is, as the family member, yes, my sister is expecting a call from this agent, or she's calling this agent. You have made this connection, follow through. So follow up within a day or two with your family member and also with the agent, and just make sure.
That should be easy. Agents are great at follow up. We don't even need to cover that.
Right.
I don't even know why you brought it up. I mean, it's
I think
just good business.
The key here is that most of the referrals that fall apart are because the client, so let's say your sister, feels uncomfortable, but she doesn't want to tell you because this was your friend, let's say, or your connection, and she's afraid to speak up, but you're her advocate. So if you can catch that early, you can immediately place that referral with someone else, or maybe tweak a few things with that other agent and get it back on track.
Yeah, that's something I actually do a lot with, like if I'm doing a referral, I tell the person I'm referring to the other agent, I'm saying, if you feel uncomfortable at any point or you don't feel you're being served at the highest level that you deserve, you contact me immediately. I'll contact the agent. If we don't get it resolved, I encourage you to walk away and I will find you another replacement as soon as possible.
That's huge.
Good reason.
And we talk about follow-up. These are all my things I need to follow up on because I'm obviously great at follow-up. No, they've been sitting on my desk for like 3 weeks.
I know. I can't claim I'm the best at it either. So, all right, there's another question here that popped up that maybe we can just get this out of the way and might open the door to a bigger conversation. So you tell me. But Kelly McLaren asked, for referrals, I see some agents post their referral fees paid out at, say, 25% as an example. Is this off of GCI or is it after the split to the broker? And does anyone just use a straight dollar amount regardless of GCI or maybe based on value? So, Greg, why don't we start with you? Let's just deal with the first part of the question, which is the 25% referral fee. That's the kind of standard. Is that off of GCI before or after split? What's the deal there?
It's I mean, the way we run it, I mean, it's before the split. I mean, it's right up front, just whoop, take it away. Now we take down the rest of ours and we split it up the way then we take our cut and everything else. So, referral fee goes out.
Split at the broker level. Then you have your split with the broker based on what they take of that 25%, and then they split their broker based on the 75% that broker keeps.
Yeah, so the commission comes in, 25 goes off, that because that takes place in escrow before the money even gets to us. Then we get the remainder, and then our broker takes their teeny itsy bitsy teensy weensy tiny bit of money they suck out of us like the vampires they are. No.
Wow.
And then
how are you feeling today, Greg?
I'm feeling good, Erin. Oh, this is why I'm feeling so good, by the way. Matt, the shackles are gone. I'm no longer the head trainer of Jay Rockcliffe. I am free to be my own man. I can finally stand for my own values. No, I'm just blowing that up. No, I really did. I quit being a trainer yesterday, and I could not be happier.
Yeah,
that's why I'm so off the wall, Erin. Well, this is just me.
This has been a change. How long has this change or the thought of this been in the making?
Oh, October, November. I've been wanting to kick that to the curb, and because I'm not aligning with people in different aspects of the management with the way they go about business. I didn't want to work for them anymore, and I didn't want to spend my 6 hours a week. I could be spending with my team or recruiting or hassling all of you good folks with more videos. Spending time building products with Matt for everybody out there. I mean, I can be spending my time to be giving back to more because the managers, God bless them, their souls, they're wonderful people, but they weren't doing their recruiting. And so I was got like one person that wouldn't show up. I get 3 people, and then 2 people would be like, "Oh, I got to pick up my kids." I'm like, "Fuck, dude. All right, this is stupid." So I'm free as a bird.
Oh, good Lord. Greg is freer than usual. Man, this is
I'm so glad I caught this show, like this one in particular. This is great.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, girl. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
I got the nose rub. The nose rub.
Yeah. I'm going to rub my whole face throughout the show. All right. The bridge of the nose just is not enough surface area to rub for what's going on right now. All right. All right, so we talked about the 25%. Does anyone use a straight dollar amount regardless of GCI or based on value? Erin, have you seen any other interesting referral arrangements?
No, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much straight percentage off the top. Yeah,
okay,
that's
cool.
That's all I've ever seen. Yeah.
All right. So before we get into like the international, some of the fun stuff with the cultural differences, let's give people a place where they can connect with you and check out the company. So where would you like to send people to connect?
Yeah, sure. If you want to learn more about leading real estate companies of the world, I recommend you go to leadingre.com. If you just like to look at pretty pictures of beautiful homes, we have a luxury brand, and you can find those houses at luxuryportfolio.com. It's just the most beautiful site ever.
Cool. So fill us in real quick for those that don't know, what is leading real estate companies of the world?
So we are an exclusive network of residential brokerages. We were formed by our brokers in 1997. We are run by our brokers today, and we've scaled from the 50 brokers that formed us back then up to, I think we're at 550, and we just hit our 61st country yesterday, Seoul, South Korea, pardon me.
Wow.
Tongue twister after following Greg today. Yeah.
That happens. But
Yeah.
I think I'm a part of you guys. I think Jay Rockcliffe is a part of you guys.
You may very well be. Yeah. Yeah. You can, if you want to look it up, you can go to leadingre.com, our companies, and you can check out your company profile.
I am doing that right now.
But our primary goal as this network is that we serve the brokers in our network. Our goal is to make the best brokerages better. I mean, that's our elevator pitch. But the reality is that we offer them a lot of services. We offer them events to get together and network and brainstorm with each other. We have a 24/7 learning platform that just reached, well, last year it was number 9. We were just notified we're in the top 5. So we're excited about that. Yeah. Across all industries. So pretty fantastic.
That is more than just a little bit fantastic. That's amazing. And no, sadly enough, we are not honored to be a part of your illustrious group. We got to talk to somebody.
Yeah, look into it.
We got to wreck some heads up in here.
Damn, wreck some heads. All right, so let's dive into the international referral part of it a little bit, Erin. So let's start with just what do you see as kind of the biggest mistake that agents are making when they try to get involved in international referrals?
That's a great question. I think, and I'll step back, our network does referrals. We are extremely experienced. It's one of the reasons, it's one of the other benefits, I should say. Every single one of our brokerages has a dedicated team that simply focuses on helping those clients go back and forth. That's why I talk about follow-up. There's a team that handles it, Greg. You should really look into it.
I will definitely look into this.
Wait a minute, there's somebody whose job it is to follow up? All right, maybe that's the difference.
Yeah. But the cool part is that these companies send 30,000 referrals to each other every year. And so, and it started in the US and it's been going on for decades. So we have an average 50% conversion rate, which is really, really high.
Wow.
And what we noticed when I took this over about 10 years ago is that members who are sending to each other across country borders. So let's say you guys in California want to send something to our member in Milan. It was falling apart. And we didn't realize it until we started looking at the conversion rates, and they're like 5%, 6%, versus 50%, which is just staggering. And when we looked at it, we figured out that it wasn't that these two companies didn't already have a relationship. It was that they did business so differently in their home countries that the agents weren't acclimating to that. And so I'll give you an example. And South of France is my absolute favorite. Let's say you've got somebody in LA who wants to buy a second home in the south of France. Any guesses, Greg, Matt, why they want to move to the south of France?
Because it's drop dead gorgeous and they have topless beaches.
Okay, that was not the guess I was going for, but thank you, Greg, for the cultural aspect. It is drop dead gorgeous.
I was going to say the lovely farmland and wine country, but Greg went a completely different direction.
He beat you to it. So I'm going to go with Matt's answer on this one.
Man.
Maybe pace of life, right? So you want to have a second home or retirement home in south of France because you want to take it slow. So I think it's suffice to say the culture there, a little bit slower than it's going to be here. And we have a U.S. agent, an LA-based agent, like, come on, why won't they call me back in 30 minutes? And, an average phone call return back would be about 2 weeks to a broker in the south of France. And it's not abnormal. And I just saw Matt's face. That was precious. It's exactly the reaction we got from our LA broker, right?
Yes. My high D head just exploded.
Yeah. And the agent is freaking out because they're like, my client's going to find someone else. They're going to go around me. They're not going to let me place this referral for them if I don't find someone for them right away.
No, they're not.
Yeah, exactly. Well, good luck.
It's going to take 4 weeks to return.
Yeah, go ahead and place that call. And God forbid it's in August when everybody's on vacation because then you got a 6-week window. So I think the key here, the what to avoid is.
So I think the key here is that all real estate brokers in Greg's office should pack up and move to the south of France.
Yes, take me with you, please.
I really do like it there, though. It is a beautiful. It's probably my favorite part of Europe. No joke.
Yeah.
Not for the reasons I said. Bye.
I think moral of the story beyond those beaches is, I think be open and flexible to resetting your expectations. And the other piece I would always offer is you have to build a relationship. I think in the U.S., we are the least relationship-centric culture in the world, period.
Really?
Other than, I think Germany's right up next to us, where we can do a transaction over email. I mean, you could literally email an agent across the U.S., introduce your sister to them, and complete that transaction over email. Every other country.
Most agents would prefer that.
Right.
You would.
Yeah, if they never had to talk to a human being on the phone, that would be like their dream come true.
And it's CYA and it takes less time, right? So I get it, but no other culture works that way. And so if you fire off an email to another country, you're spam. They're not going to even look at you. They've got clients that they have relationships with to deal with. Mm-hmm. My recommendation is always pick up the phone. Always make that warm call. And we see agents who are a little bit hesitant to do that because they are afraid they don't speak the language. I guarantee you, if you say, hi, is there someone there who speaks English? 9 times out of 10, you will be placed with someone on their staff who speaks English. So always pick up the phone.
No, you're talking about something that's really, really true. I saw a Facebook post by a gentleman a while back, and he did this beautiful rant about how social media is making us more unsocial. Like, we always want to hide behind this little thing called a camera or a keypad or something like that. And it's saddening to hear that we're the least relationship country in the world, when we call them third world countries. But those third world countries, they know Bob and Phil who live next to them. They have intimate, strong bonds with them. They know the tribal leader or the mayor of the small town, and they can go have a conversation if there's a problem. And the other person will look back, Matt, why are you grinning at me like a fool?
I'm just thinking about the fact that I never wanted to know my neighbors and still don't. Every day I get home and I have to talk to somebody on my way in, I regret the fact that I know my neighbors.
The horrors you endure.
I shake my fist at you, Greg.
Are you that silent guy in my elevator?
Yes, he is.
I'm getting better at that, actually, being the silent guy in the elevator.
Oh, man, I try to talk to everybody in the elevator. They just don't speak my language.
Yeah. So I think you were talking about that Simon Sinek video clip, right?
No, it's another guy. Well, it's a black gentleman. I forget. He's so eloquent on the way he puts it. I'll try to find the link for you guys because it is unbelievably powerful. I watched it like a dozen times.
Daniel Pink?
I think. Hold on, I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'll take a look really quick and get back to you.
Yeah, because it is interesting. We are we're the most connected. I mean, everybody has a smartphone or pretty close to it. And but yeah, it does. That other communication channel really just means we try to get away with not picking up the phone and just calling somebody.
Yeah. And I mean, I think about the last email you got that was, so-and-so's king of so-and-so, and he's asking you just to let him give you 40 grand, just to give him your PIN numbers, and I would say imagine yourself in their shoes. That oftentimes if you're sending an email to them offering to send them this lovely client who wants to buy $1 million home, that's spam. They're going to delete it and move on to their client that's warm and friendly in front of them.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about it from that perspective. That's
Do people
funny.
still fall for that bullshit still? Like, hey, Bill Gates wants to give you 5,000 of his billions of dollars. Just give me your email address. And oh my God.
I had to stop my grandparents from answering the phone for a while after that stuff was going on because surprisingly people do. They're sincere and they're trusting. So
I actually my grandparents legitimately got a call from someone in Europe saying that and it kind of sounded like me. Hey, Grandma and Grandpa, I'm over here traveling and I got robbed and I don't have any money. Can you send me money? Thank God my grandparents are intelligent. They call my mom. They're like, is Greg traveling in Europe? They're like, no. They're like, oh, we're someone's trying to scam us. Like, well, don't respond. It happens. It's scary.
Yeah, it is. It is. But good luck to you if you ever need money and you're in Europe. They're definitely not going to help you out.
No, exactly. No. Okay.
Oh my God, that's funny. All right. So you mentioned the example of the south of France where just the pace and the culture is different. And it's funny you mentioned that because it's so true. 'Cause I used to work years and years and years ago. I did technical sales for a company that was a custom electrical manufacturing concern with sister companies in Germany and France.
There
And
you
so
go.
everyone in the company had to communicate with those two groups of people. And oh my God,
Yeah,
the differences
so far
between those
apart.
two people groups are a million miles apart. Yes. So I've personally dealt with that before, and it's funny. But let's talk about some of the the investment that's coming in from Russia, the investment that's coming in from China and Japan, and then all the dollars that we've exported is trying to come back into our country in the form of investing in our real estate. So how does someone get better at working with those types of cultures? What are some of their expectations, and what are the agents like to work with in those two cultures?
That's a great question. I usually, when I'm advising agents as to how they can capture more business, for me, I feel like the more you send, the more you get back. You have to form a relationship with another agent that's already embedded in that culture. I don't think you're just going to go to a local chamber and meet people and suddenly start attracting people from a particular culture. They aren't going to trust you. You have to build that level of trust. So I usually advise our agents to start with something close to them. I happen to be, even though I don't look at Lebanese, and if I was going to start somewhere to start building that sphere, I know it's
sorry. It took a second for the words to register. Did I hear that correctly? All right.
Yeah. If you saw my brother, he got all the great skin, the great coloring, all that good stuff. But I think, I would, because you're naturally going to care about the culture that you're from, and it will resonate with the people with whom you interact. So if you're going to start showing up at local cultural meetings and trying to attract business that way, you better be sincere. And the first transaction you do is going to be the most critical. And I always recommend try assisting an agent who's already embedded, co-list or do something like that. Offer them something that they can't already do, like exposure, in return for learning how to work with that culture in particular, and kind of that warm handoff and that trust.
That explains a lot. I'm Irish. Now explains why I like beer so much. I'm like, my friend, ding. All right, we found him.
Well, that's good because it answers this one question, which is Julian says he's a newer agent in Toronto. How do I ask for business and referrals without sounding like I'm only, calling for my self-interest? That is the answer to that question. You give first, which is a phenomenal way. And I think there's a lot of people that they will ask they're asking a question like, how do I get more of this? How do I get more sales? How do I get more people into my world? Like whatever the case is. And it's very counterintuitive. But we always start of it by thinking off as what I want more of. And we usually never think of relationships. So I love, Erin, how you bring it back to relationships. It's about building the relationships. If you want more referrals, you build more relationships. I mean, I see it more in my business behind the scenes, the podcast production side, because it's a professional service where they're getting into a relationship. So the process of selling it is the process of building the relationship. I think realtors get distracted because it's a transaction and we lose sight of the relationship a lot of times, right? So we don't think about it in those terms. If I want more business, I just need more relationships. If that makes sense.
Well, and I think that the first place to start is with your existing sphere. Like I think the inclination is I should just jump into this new group. No, start with the clients that already worked with you once, and use that script that we talked to Andrea about with her sister, right? Let your clients know between the time they're buying and selling with you every 7 to 9 years, you are happy to help their friends and family anywhere in the world if you have a contact. You've got to deliver. So, but let them know you've got contacts in other places. You'd be happy to take care of them, help interview agents for them. It doesn't need to be, the home that's right in your city. It can be anywhere. And I think what you do there is you not only open yourself up to get referrals from them, but then they think of you to help their friends, or the next time they've got another property, 2 states away from you, and they're like, oh, I don't know an agent. I'll call Greg. I'll call Matt. So yeah, definitely.
No, that's actually really important. We had another guest on here. Her name is Charlene. She talked about how you want to seed your conversations, and I have absolutely no idea how to do that yet, but I am taking her class. Matt and I literally got slapped around on that video call. We're like, what, I'm doing it wrong? Oh, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. But I'm going to go through her course. She only takes about 10 people a month, 40, I think 50 people a year or something like that. I don't know. It's something to go through bigger classes, but it's going to be interesting to see how you can change your conversation, the verbiage, the tonality, the way, I don't even know what the hell she's going to teach me. But Erin, you're really onto something. A lot of people do self-serving actions. And I mean, what have you found to be some of the best techniques to not be self-serving?
I mean, you actually care. I think that you have to change the perspective a little bit, which is if you see it as I'm going to do this to generate more dollars for me, you're looking at it wrong and you're not going to approach it the right way with your conversation. Instead, if you flip it and treat every one of your spheres like your family member that you really do want to take care of, and you see that you legitimately do have connections that could help them. You don't want them to fall into the wrong hands. It's
Right.
not about the money. It's about making sure they're cared for. And, you know, sometimes sharing stories about how you've done that with your friends and family is an easier segue into that conversation rather than just, hey, brother, did you know that I can, you know, help you buy or sell anywhere in the world? You know, I think sometimes just sharing some of the horror stories can kind of open up that conversation at random holiday dinners with your family.
So did you guys hear about this house around the corner? It had a huge sinkhole below it and nobody knew. But if they'd hired me, you would have known all about it. You know, yeah, I mean, that's funny. All jesting aside, I call it commission breath. You know, if you have commission breath and you're trying like, I need a deal, you know, it's just very, very stinky smell. They're going to smell you a block away. But if you go in with client minded and you just go, hey, look, you're going to vet this in, you know, this situation, this person or client, whoever it's going to be, and you're willing to walk away from a payday, like Hank I did the show with. He walked away from $1 million deal, not like a house he's going to buy or sell. Like he was going to get paid $1 million because it was all about the money for him. He was more interested in building relationships. Yeah. I think when people actually understand that and they start wrapping their brain around it, like we talked about the challenge in the beginning of the show today, once they start having that mindset, the world will give back to you more than you could ever have taken from the world.
Yeah.
But people don't think about it. They think about me, I have to have, need it now. We're a microwave generation. We want it done right now. We're not willing to wait.
And when I think about the agent that I love to work with the most, because I'm not a licensed real estate agent. I help advise.
You're going to talk. I thought you weren't going to talk about me on the show. Oh.
Aside from Greg, when I'm buying or selling here in Chicago, my favorite agent is someone who has made an effort to include me in her life. Like I get invited to her family's cocktail parties around the holidays. When I need a guy, when I need the painter, when I need, you know, somebody to help me with construction, she has my guys. So it's natural to me that she calls me and says, hey, I've got a guy for you if you need help in real estate somewhere else in the country. Or if your parents need a contractor, you know, halfway across the world, I bet I could find a guy for you if you need one. It's totally natural to me now that I know she's got a guy for everything. Like it just makes sense that this would be one more piece of that.
Yeah, we can be everyone's guy.
Ooh, everybody's guy. Ooh, my dream job has just arisen. We have what we call the good guy list. We do the same thing, Erin. Like we have a list of all these people, and I had check this out, dude. My first client from 18 years ago, Jonathan Smith, referred his brother to me last month. Joshua Smith, they go by their full names. Then Jonathan Smith, keep these names straight, my first client, just hit me up yesterday randomly. He goes, hey man, do you have a handyman that you could recommend? I'm like, sure, bro. Here you go. Very powerful.
You are top of mind for that family.
Yeah, exactly. You remain sticky so that every time it comes, come to mind, whoop, right over to Greg. And so agents can do that. Guys, you can easily do that. Just go back and talk to all the people you work with on a daily basis. Or if you're new, go talk to the office and get a list of the people. Go take a couple of these people out to lunch. Go out to coffee. Bring them into the office. Hey, I want to build your business. I want to help you grow, but I want to get to know you. You know, start building your relationships today. I mean, Erin, what would your advice be the same thing for newer agents? To build
Are you talking about building relationships with like contractors, painters, so you can create kind of a home services list? Yeah, absolutely. It's the same deal there, right? You want to be able to refer them with confidence. So they better be somebody you trust who's going to take care of your people. But frankly, they're probably looking for referrals as well. Why wouldn't you do reciprocal arrangements with them? For sure.
Exactly. There's an agent I know. He refers out to his client, to his good guy list, his handyman guys. But in return, he asks and expects them to give him 1 to 2 referrals every year, each one of them. He makes that very clear to them. Hey, I will give you everyone I have, but you got to give me 1 to 2 referrals every year and change in return. And they do. So, like I always say, guys, people only know what you tell them. So tell them that you will build their business with them, but you need a return, return back scratch. It can't just be a one-way street anymore. It has to be a pay-to-play game. And my voice just cracked. I don't know why.
That's all right. I'm going to make fun of you for the rest of the day for being Peter from the Brady Bunch. Now, Erin, let's get back to the international stuff. So on the this is something we talked about when we first were met and we're talking about bringing you on the show, which was the issue of like working with an interpreter, right? Because that's one of the roadblocks, and I guess one of the things that people think is probably a bigger issue than what it is. So kind of walk us through the process of, let's say you are dealing with a truly international client where they want to buy property in the U.S. and they don't speak the language. What can you do to make that relationship easier?
Great question. I think what you need to consider beyond just an interpreter for spoken word is the fact that they're going to have to do business in contract, on paper, and legal writing in a different language is a completely different art form. So you need to find if we're talking about a traditional interpreter, and I'm going to talk about a different type of interpreter in a second, but if you're doing real estate legal writing, you need to find someone who, technically I would find another agent who is fluent in that language and also a trained, licensed, experienced agent, because you need contract writing in that language. And someone who's going to sit down and go through every detail with that client to make sure they understand. And on the agent's part, the other piece of this is you're the teacher. You need to understand what the financial and legal ramifications are for your client so you can walk them through the differences, kind of outline. Here's how I know you do it in your country. Here's how it works here. These are going to be some of the differences you're going to experience, because they might hit something and think, I have a bad agent, rather than you've set an expectation and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is just a weird hurdle we have to get over because we do business differently in these two countries. But when we talked about interpreters, and I apologize, I wasn't clear, we actually figured out that so many of these deals were breaking apart across country borders. We put together an interpreter team. We call them our liaison. They do not speak multiple languages. They actually just are a central person who speaks to brokers on both sides and helps set those expectations. They help the agent in LA who's like, 30 seconds, I need a phone call back. 2 hours, I need a phone call back. I'm dropping this broker. I'm moving on to the next one. They kind of calm them down and reset expectations that, no, based on the country you're calling, this is the amount of time we think it's going to take to call back. If we don't hear from someone, we will get you in touch with someone else. Once you do talk to them, these are the things you're going to need to go through with them, because the way Germany does this or the way Austria does this, it's different than the way you're going to be doing it with your client. So here are the expectations you can go and set for them on this. So we actually have a liaison team sitting in-house that helps our brokers talk to one another across country borders.
Hey, Erin, I'm reading some of the comments. Helen on our comments said that South Africa is not on the list. How could she get on?
Durban, South Africa is not on the list. She's just wondering how she can sign up.
How she get on it?
Great question. Absolutely great question. We're always looking for wonderful new members. Visit leadingre.com, and there's a section called About Us. You will find more information about how to fill out an interest form.
Perfect.
So I can do that too.
Offering tour guide and safari services. So,
Greg, I figured that's what you were already doing. It's taking you so long.
I'm paying attention. I'm just doing self-serving activities over here. Oh no, I am going to sign up though and see if we can get signed up for the San Francisco East Bay area. But I mean, this is good stuff, Erin. I mean, I've always been afraid to do international deals. I had one guy, I don't know if he's full of shit or not, but he's like, hey, I got some properties in Mexico. I'm like, bullshit, but I'll move forward. No, now I know I can go to you guys and go find a good agent down in Mexico and just say, hey, I'll take a referral, go run the deals. I think this is a great service. Why have I been in this business for 18 years, not heard of you? Is it just because I'm not looking for you, or is it because you guys are mainly focused in certain hubs going outbound to other countries?
It's a great question. Leading RE is a sub-brand. So our brokers, I mean, the whole point, the reason they walked away from what they were a part of and started us was because they wanted their local brands to shine. So I guarantee when you're looking at our website, Greg, I'm sure you recognize all the other names that are on there in the Bay Area, but you aren't going to see ours. Now, if you go to their website, you'll see kind of a little powered by Leading RE or supported by Leading RE. We're the connector piece. Now, I will say, and this is my one shameless plug, Every year, we've been the leader in market ranking, according to Real Trends, as a consolidation of our 550 members in the States. So I think we might be doing a little bit more of our branding of the leading real estate companies in the world, but our members really shine on their own, so we haven't had to.
Very cool. All right, well, I'm going to get on to it then. Matt, keep us on track because I'm doing a good job of keeping us off track.
You are getting us off track. So I was curious, Aaron. So I was looking at in my original hometown, Omaha. You guys have the MP Dodge, which is the local brand. That's actually where my business partner Jeff Cohn was with before he went on to be with Berkshire. So that makes total sense. Like MP Dodge is this. It's not niche. It is the big brand, but just for that area. Like it's literally it's been owned, like family owned for the last 100 years. Like the guy that actually runs like NP Dodge the Fourth or something like that. So those are the types of companies we're talking about. Like they can be huge brands locally, but they're not putting themselves out there as we're a sub brand of leading RE, because it's all about their local brand. Everybody knows who they are. They've been around for 50 or 100 years or whatever the case is. So yeah, that makes more sense. So then, like, what's the typical size of a broker that's with you guys? Do you go down to like the very small boutique level? Okay.
Yeah, and it just depends on the market, right? So in the Bay Area, a small broker isn't the right fit. But if you are, I'm talking small. We've got some brokers that are 1 to 5 agents. Are you 1 to 5 agents, Greg?
We're 400. So no,
that is not small. That is not small. But we do, we do have some areas where we have some fantastic boutiques that are, just like you said, they are the local brand to go to. They are the well-known person in that area that takes care of you and their team players. And in some markets, that's okay. In other markets, we've got the 1,000 to 12,000 plus brokerages in terms of agent count. It just depends. Yeah, we've got some big regional players as well on the East and West Coast.
Huh. That is really good to know, actually. I mean, I'm thinking about the hyper local aspect of it, and a lot of the times, I mean, someone who's boots on ground like Matt, MP Dodge, they're the best people to go to. I mean, Remax might not be the best person to go to because MP Dodge has literally been there 100 years. They quite honestly know what people have for dinner on different streets. And they know what.
So if you're looking for like a listing agent to list somebody's home in Omaha so that they can move to where you're at, like that's a great option. You go with the biggest local brand that's there, and they may not be a national brand, but they're the 800-pound gorilla in their market, and that's exactly who you want listing that home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, I
you
think
want their top agent, but just not just any random, but you want their top agent.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a consumer, of course, you're going to see a national brand. You're going to be pitched right at your listing presentation. Hey, consumer. Hey, client. I give you this breadth and depth of all these people that are going to see your listing. But the reality is the majority of the buyers are coming locally, right? And so I think that's why our brokers formed that network. They needed that global scope. But the way they really use it is it's all brainstorming. It's all idea sharing. It's all about the connection and the ideas that they share with one another that helps kind of collectively raise that bar for themselves.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Well, so tell me a little bit about the luxury portfolio really quick, because you mentioned that briefly earlier. So just give us a little bit more in-depth info on that.
Sure. So as a subset, we have a luxury brand, and I will tell you, of the 550 members we have, not all of them are eligible for that luxury portfolio international, but it is truly a luxury brand for luxury companies, and it offers a myriad of programs and services to the agents, everything from amazing reports on different countries and buyers looking at their homes on the website, all the way over to branding packages to help you land that listing and really validate you as the premier luxury agent in your market. But the kicker is you can't be part of Luxury Portfolio International unless you are a part of Leading RE. So only Leading RE members are eligible for that.
Yeah,
so
correct. Let's get on that with Jay Rockcliffe.
I'm looking right now, like, how do I get this luxury package out?
All right. So the website is leadingre.com. This has been awesome. So there's been some great stuff on international referrals, working with interpreters, advisors, liaisons, that kind of finding that people. And then most importantly, I think just the relationship building part of it is so huge, because it doesn't matter whether you're trying to develop, like relocation business with companies, or whether you're trying to get international referrals, or whether you just want your family and friends to refer you to their people. It's all the same thing. It's all building relationships and being a genuine, nice human being that cares about other people. So if anybody anybody wants more information on how to be a normal human being that cares about other people, I have a book for you. It's called no, it's not called Be a Normal Human Being.
That's not the title.
No, it's not. I'll have to write that. That'll be me and Greg's first book. Be a normal fucking human being. Anyway, no, the book that I have in mind is
he wrote it.
The book that I have in mind is Jay Abraham, How to Get Everything You Can Out of All You've Got. So there's two concepts that he talks about in there, which is the strategy of preeminence, which is the idea that looking at every person that works with you as a client, someone who is under your protection and care, and extending that to your family, friends, and valued past clients and business relationships, because you want them genuinely to have the best service, whether it's from you or someone else that they're working with. Just that whole attitude that you mentioned, Erin, is very, very much aligned with what Jay Abraham teaches. And then he also teaches a lot about falling in love with the client first, the service second. And there's a lot of agents that are very much in love with what they do, and they like real estate, and they want to sell people, and they want to help them find the home of their dreams and do all that stuff. What they haven't done is they haven't fallen in love with their client first and doing what's best for them. And so if anybody's looking for more resources on just that mental approach, because that can really change your entire business. I mean, it is very, very different from the way that most people operate, which is me first. If you operate from that you first, it can change your business. So go out and get that book, guys. Greg,
Thank you.
Anything else you want to contribute?
Tons, Matt.
I know. You're very quiet in this episode. You're spending time. You're like distracted by comments and.
Yeah, I'm trying to interact with people. I'm trying to be social, Matt. I'm trying to be social.
Yeah. But we're here. I'm right here, Greg.
I know, that's the problem. No.
You guys are marriage counselor. This is awesome.
Oh, we've heard that more than once. That's the funny thing. Yeah. So I want to thank Talent Prospecting. They are my ISA team. They set appointments for me, guys. I have the top package that they do, but they set 10 appointments a week for me. Like, hey, Greg, at noon, go to this listing appointment. Hey, Greg, at this time, go talk with this new buyer. So for them, do Talon, knuckles to you guys. If you guys want to learn more about them, PM me on Facebook, and I'm going to put a link into this chat, into this feed here. You guys can go take a look at their services. Dude, Matt, they have blown up. They have 25 new paying clients in the last 25 days, like picking up a new client a day. Yeah, so as of this recording of January 13th, they're holding off on taking new clients until February. I mean, they're so freaking.
There's a lot of people to onboard.
Oh my God, they're drowning. So I had a long call with them last night, and so I told them I would let everyone know, hey, they're still going to take your business, but they just got to get their staff in order, because they didn't anticipate such a massive success, because they fucking rock. All right, that's my very subtle pitch. But to all my wonderful McAngle Challenge guests this week, Daniel, you're awesome. Joseph, you're amazing. Ryan, you're outstanding. Thank you guys for taking your time. I got some great people this coming week. I'm talking to Sylvia on Monday, Elizabeth on Tuesday, and Lori on Wednesday. So I cannot wait to talk with you guys then. And it's just always a pleasure to be with you guys. We love you to pieces. We really want to see you succeed. That's why we do this show 3 days a week, and what we're building on the backside for you guys. We want everybody to live the life of their dreams. So please, watch what we're doing. Reach out to me. Matt won't take your calls. And we would be happy to answer any questions and do anything more for you. So anyways, I
won't take your calls because I'm busy building the thing that's going to help you. So let me talk about that for a second. Greg. Anyway, so number one, we are hard at work on the curriculum for Rockstar Prospecting. It is all about circle calls and training you on how to do exactly what Greg does, which is the engine of Greg's business. It is circle prospecting. It is making just sold, just listed, just pending, and buyer need calls into the key areas where you want to work. So you actually get a steady stream of clients that you can literally turn on and off, or turn up the volume just like a faucet, essentially, of a bathroom sink. You can just turn it right on. You just put a full blast, or you can have a trickle of business, or you can have a rush of new business. So that's kind of the idea. So I'm working on that behind the scenes. Me and Greg are recording some video for that this afternoon. So that's going to be called Rockstar Prospecting Circle Calls. That's going to come out. That training course, it's going to be a live training course that's going to be launched in the next couple weeks. But for now, you can still get Greg's favorite scripts, which is free at the website, McDaniel Real Estate Systems. You can download that. We're updating that with some new scripts. So that'll be coming out shortly. shortly. And then our farming training course is on the website too. That is all of $99, and it is 8.5 hours of Greg and me on video explaining exactly how to dominate an area by cold, hot, warm, outbound prospecting, marketing, everything in between, high tech and high touch. So that's on the website. That's all I've got, but that's what we're working on. So if I don't take your call, I apologize, but it's because we're building stuff that will help you.
Wow, you bobbed and weaved on that one. Well played, sir. You knew I was coming swinging. But I put everything on the feed, guys, for the links for everything Matt just talked about. So go ahead and take a look at it. But yeah, cool. All right, dude. Want to put a little bow on this bad boy and pack it up and go home?
Thank you so much, guys. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, the whole 9 yards. Get it in video or audio form, depending on what you prefer. We prefer that you listen to us at the gym while you work out and stay healthy. Learn and burn. #learn
and burn. All right, guys. We love you.